the amount of chaos that you and Mr. Marawa would cause on a weekly basis with your room dividers on Metro FM. And yet, despite all, and I could see there were times when your tongue was in cheek and you knew you were stirring it up, but happily so. But you created such important debate, and you clearly had a lot of fun delving into a lot of those questions that I think as South Africans of any colour, of any cultural background, we still often kind of delve into a little nervously, a little hesitantly.
Yeah, we should be open-minded, I think. That's important. I think the show Room Dividers was just, was not even a trend center. It was just something unheard of, where we, Springboks, for example, the Japan, go back to Brighton, we lose against Japan. Many media outlets, you know, not writing as harmfully as what have you, but we were outright open and honest in our discussions on radio, where South African rugby was and where we were never supposed to be beaten by Japan in the first place. But I think based on, you know, on the show, it opened up a lot of opportunities where we sort of said these things that are happening within the team cultures or within the team ethos are not the right things. And I think we need an inclusive South African rugby squad. And it's what we have. I mean, that for me is important. Is if you look, Sia then became, you know, a Springbok captain. 2 years later, he lifted the Webb Ellis. That's history. It's not because we had the show to see that, because we never foresaw that could happen. But what we always wanted to do was to see that we want people to get fair and, you know, and sort of good opportunities. That's all they want. That's all they ask for. And that's what we stick by. I mean, I faced 5 lawsuits, but, you know, those 5, I took it with a chin, because we wanted to make sure that South African rugby goes in the right direction, and it certainly is if you look at it now. And I'm quite happy that we had to go through that turbulent times. I mean, there were times where we took on the minister, Fikile Mbalula, at the time, and invited him to the show. We wanted accountability from senior sports administrators, and they never came to the fore. And we termed it then that they were cowards who just wanted for themselves to be at the forefront, and yet the sport was not actually going where it was supposed to be. But I think they listened. One thing about it is some of them said, yes, we do listen to the show, and it sort of changed how they thought of us at the time. I mean, you had the guy called Kaunda Ntunja, who passed on, who was part of the show. He became a brilliant, you know, broadcaster, but also technically he understood the game. So they listened to us, and that's what I liked about the show. But also for me, I had to move on, you know, media space, moving on, but also knowing at the back that we wanted to ask the right questions, which is not generally the thing in South African society.